If you're like me, you might have had a dream. You might have had something that you always wanted to do, but you just kind of kept putting it off, right? I mean, life tends to get in the way. Quick reminder, guys, if you like the content, smash all the buttons, do all the things that you know you're supposed to do. You've seen a million YouTube videos. You know how to do it. Just do it. It really helps. Thanks. And for me, that's been my music. I was in a band in college, and even before that, I wrote music when I was in high school. I would one of the first songs that I wrote was about having athlete's foot on your tongue, and my friends in high school thought it was funny, and they would ask me to sing it. And I don't know, maybe that's where it started for me. That little bit of success, I caught some sort of bug with that, and liked it, and so I just kind of kept going. And in college, I joined a band, and we were together for about 3 years, Christian band, and we had some success. And but as things go, college was coming to an end, and we kind of just ended up going our separate ways. And then life happens, right? I get married, I get a job, we start having kids. And even during that time, I never stopped writing music, because writing music is something that you can do in your head. So that's something I would do when I would drive in my car, when I would go on walks, when I would just zone out sitting on the couch, and I would just have something pop into my mind. Literally any little thing might make me think of, oh, that'd be a cool line for a song, or a chorus, or a verse, or a bridge. And I've just kind of always been like that. And so about 7 or 8 years ago, I decided I was gonna start doing this dream of putting my music out. And my wife had gotten me time at a recording studio as a gift, and I put out a single, and made a music video for it and everything. But I didn't really have any plans for the follow-up. I didn't know how I was gonna keep doing it, because obviously I couldn't afford uh, to use a studio for every song. And so it just kind of goes by the wayside, right? It's never really forgotten about, but you have more important things, right? For me and my wife, we started doing we were trying to do an international adoption, which ended up not working out. That was very hard. And then we got into foster care, which was also very hard. I still work full time. Uh, some of my kids, they started getting older. I have a daughter who's 13 now. Doing sports, and I'm coaching, and so life is pretty full. And there's definitely 1,000 reasons why. Um, I don't have time, right? I don't have time to do these things that I've wanted to do. So why is it now that I am making music on the eve of my 40th birthday in a month here? Is it a midlife crisis? Yeah, probably, absolutely. That might be kind of true. But really, I think it's just because I'm trying to be faithful. I'm trying to be faithful to what I think God's called me to do. I talked about how I never stopped writing music, because it's something that I can just do in my head. I can think of a tune and put words to it in my mind, just sitting there doing nothing. And I do that pretty frequently. I had the thought not too long ago, before all this started, that you just kind of assume that other people are the way that you are. And because I sit around and might think of silly songs in my head, I just assumed, I guess, other people do that too. And certainly some do. But it kind of came to my attention that not everyone does that. Not everybody is like that. And that maybe that's a gift that God has given me, and that maybe He wants me to start using that gift to glorify Him. And not only that, but the idea of doing this is scary. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm almost 40, right? I have a full-time job. Believe it or not, I'm a respected member of my community. It's so putting myself out there it's not the easiest thing in the world. In fact, someone right now is probably watching this video who knows me in my real life, and they're thinking, who's this guy? Why is he talking like this? And that's kind of a scary thought. And these songs that I've had in my head, some of them, now for almost 20 years, coming out and getting out into the real world. It's exciting, but it's also scary. And not only scary just for putting myself out there, but it's also scary in the fact that uh, I don't know how it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, when you have a dream, you dream to the max, right? You don't dream like, oh, I had a dream that I might put a song out and 5 people will listen to it. Well, no, I had a dream that maybe some of these songs that I feel God has given me and put in my head might be a blessing to a lot of people, you know? And if it's only 5, it's only 5. But the dream, of course, is that people will like them and that'll catch on. And that's a scary thing because I'm almost 40. I have 5 kids. I can't just quit my job and focus on music. And so uh, it's a scary thing. And I think one of the reasons I put it off for so long is because I couldn't see the path forward. I could see the dream, right? But I couldn't see the steps to get there. And yeah, recently, in my quiet time with God, I've just felt Him telling me, don't worry about the how. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of that part. You just be faithful. You write the songs and you do your part, and I'll do the heavy lifting. And I know that because I've seen it in my life. I've seen it in my life in the other areas where I've chosen to trust God, right? So I mentioned that my wife and I, we did an international adoption and that we also did foster care. This was a long, long process. I don't want to go into the whole thing, but I saw the exact same pattern there. And we said yes to both of those things, not because we could see the path forward, because we couldn't see the path forward there either. In fact, when we said yes to do an international adoption, I was scared because at that time, we knew the average cost of an international adoption was more than I made in a year. And so I had no idea how we were going to pay for that. And that scared me. But I felt God telling me, just say yes. Just say yes. And He was faithful. We didn't ever have to worry about the money. And that's just one example in my life. And so as our foster care time is coming to a close, thankfully, now that we've adopted our youngest 2 children and we're going to be done with that, I started looking to the future. And I've always believed that God, as Christians, God calls us to do hard things. He never calls us to do easy things and go read the Bible, right? He never calls anyone to go, watch Netflix for the whole weekend. He doesn't call you to do things that you were probably going to do anyways, right? He calls us to do hard things. And so with that coming to a close, my mind started turning to what's going to be next for me? What's the next thing that God is going to want me to say? I'm just going to trust you with this, God, even though I don't see the path forward. I don't see how this is going to work out. I don't see how we're going to get there. But I'm just going to put my trust in you, and I'm going to be faithful, and I'm going to trust that you're going to be faithful. And so that's what this whole musical journey is about. So I appreciate everybody who has followed along. I started my Facebook page back up and I had over 100 followers, within 24 hours or pretty close to that, which just blew my mind. I mean, I haven't even put anything out yet. That's just people who like me enough, I guess, that they just, they're going to click follow even if the music's garbage. But hopefully it's not garbage. It's not garbage, okay? So, yeah. Anyways, I really want to thank you guys for following me along in this journey. Please, if you haven't, follow me on the social medias. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube page. That's where all my music videos are going to get posted first. And obviously, just like and subscribe and share. If there's any content that really resonates with you, man, if you would share it, it helps so much to just pass that message along to somebody else and get somebody new to encounter what I'm doing here with this music stuff. So anyways, Love you guys. See you later.